Okay, tropical storm for now anyway. Nicole will continue to roll on through southwest Georgia on up through our area as we go through the overnight tonight and through the first half of tomorrow before leaving quickly as we head into tomorrow night. Now, if you're watching this at some point here on Thursday night, this was recorded here Thursday at 6:30 on November 10th, 2022, just in case you're looking and thinking, oh, this is current and you're watching this a few weeks from now, whatever. So anyway, there's the numbers. You can see the wind gusts we've been seeing, 25 to 30 mile per hour gusts. And even when you get down near the center of the storm, you're seeing 30, 35, close to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So nothing terrible out there. There have been tornado watches. We had one for coastal Georgia earlier, now a newer one that's going out from Savannah on up the South Carolina coastline. Just watching for any rotation in some of these outer bands out there as they come in. We've been keeping an eye on that stuff too and haven't seen anything rotating, but we're watching all these little cells here. It's going to be farther south and east you go, the better opportunity for some of that type stuff. All right, so let's get into the latest track. Again, for now, as of 6:30 on Thursday night, tropical storm Nicole. We'll see how this is downgraded as we go on through the late night hours. But you can see going up the center of circulation, falling apart here, going from tropical storm just to an area of low pressure here. It looks like as we go into late night over into Friday morning. And then by Friday afternoon, the thing is gone off into northeast Georgia quickly. So let's take a look at future view, and it will show these outside bands again going up the Carolina coastline. This is where the tornado threat will be. We're kind of getting out of that as we go later on into the night, seeing mainly just some light to moderate rain in waves and batches. So it's not raining all the time. You'll get a wave to come through and then it'll lull for a little bit and then it'll pick up again. There's the center of circulation, possibly a little bit west of Macon as we head toward Friday morning. There's Friday lunchtime, and then we start to just move this away as we go into Friday night, clearing things out for a great Friday night. Saturday looks good. There will be some cloud cover rolling in as we go on through the afternoon, maybe one or two little sprinkles here. We'll see if that actually happens, but the cold front that comes down is going to bring in some much colder stuff as we go through Saturday night, and you'll see that on the 7-day with Sunday on into next week. Much colder stuff than what we've been seeing. Rainfall totals, well, we've already had some rain from the storm, so this is what's left. We maybe still could have another inch to an inch and a half in a few spots, depending on where some of these batches line up. Sometimes you could see higher numbers, if you get just some of these waves to roll over the same places over and over again. Wind gusts, yeah, well, we've already been seeing numbers like these. It's still calling for 30, 35. You saw an over 40 mile per hour wind gust to the south. We'll see if that happens as the storm center continues to get a little bit closer, but also as it's moving closer, it's weakening down. All right, so here is a look at Friday morning, still 20, 25, maybe 30 mile per hour wind gusts. As we go into Friday afternoon, the storm already in northeast Georgia at this point and taking the wind with it as it goes on into Friday night. And just like that, Nicole is a memory. Again, for the storm outlook for tonight, a level 1 for us, a low end level 1 for maybe a brief spin up, goes to a level 2 as you get over to our coastline and up the Carolinas here, where this is those outer bands right there. But again, as we head on in toward the later hours, eventually this is going to be more of a Carolina thing. And as we go toward tomorrow morning, all that's gone. All right, so let's talk about the numbers here. 60s, pretty much for the most part as we go through the overnight tonight. And then once we get into the day tomorrow, still maybe kind of hovering in the 60s. Depending on the cloud cover and the rain that's still around there. As we head into Saturday morning, we're seeing some 50s. Saturday afternoon, we're actually going to warm up a little bit, some mid to upper 70s maybe in our southeastern counties. But look at this front that is coming through, and this thing is going to really make itself known as we head into Sunday morning with 30s coming back in and then much colder stuff for the day on Sunday and beyond. All right, so there's the humidity levels. They're up now. They'll continue up as we go through the overnight. But you can see the front right here coming through Saturday. Going to knock all of this stuff out. So we're talking about much drier air coming back in as we head through Saturday night on into Sunday and on into beyond into next week. Let me go back here just for a second. I wanted to show you let's see if we can go back just a couple of maps here and pick up again with the future views thing here. I want to show you as we go forward. Again, these outside bands here with any sort of little rotation, that's mainly going to be along the coast, but we are keeping an eye on that for some of our eastern, southeastern counties out there. And as we go forward through tonight, once again, because that's one of the components of this that is one that we have to really watch. Otherwise, this is just a rain and wind event. If the storm had been a little bit farther over toward the east, this wouldn't be anything we'd be talking about. But because the eye of the storm is off toward the west of 75 and rolling up, that puts us on that dirty side of the storm. So again, most of this will be as we go through this evening. Once we start to head overnight into the morning hours, these outer bands continue on up into the Carolinas, and that's where the tornado threat could be. We would generally be seeing just some light to moderate rain with some gusty winds still as we go through the overnight period. And once again, just so you get a second look at the timing here, if you're planning your day tomorrow and you're saying, well, I have this to do, but I don't have to do it in the morning, you know, if you can hold off, that's fine. I know a lot of the Veterans Day observances have been moved indoors for tomorrow morning, but once you get later in the day, things will be fine. May still be a little bit on the breezy side, but the rain should be gone at that point as everything pulls on off toward the north and east. And once again, this weekend, looking good. We're talking about the warmer day is Saturday, and then the colder stuff comes in Saturday night, big time. And as we head through Sunday and beyond, we're looking at maybe 50s and 30s. Now, really, next week, Tuesday looks like a rain chance. Then it's kind of iffy once we get beyond that. Some of the models show us with highs only in the 40s as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm kind of splitting the difference between those and putting us somewhere in the 50s. So we'll figure that out as we get a little bit closer. Of course, as Nicole continues to move on through tonight, overnight into Friday morning, we will continue to track the latest, and we'll have it on all of our platforms. Of course, you can see it right here